Thank you to Sakuraco and TokyoTreat for sponsoring today's video. Hi guys, welcome back to another video. So, ever since I posted the Procreate gallery tour and showing my Ibispaint gallery at the end of that video, I noticed that I kind of missed doing these randomly. I guess they weren't exactly random, but the kind of sketch pages I did of Genshin characters in here because I kept them a little bit more on the rough side. But I also haven't touched Ibispaint since doing the animations video and the custom brushes video where I made similar brushes to what I use in Procreate. So I thought it'd be fun to do another sketch page similar to these. But if I like any of the sketches, maybe I'll push them and actually start to render some of them. But for now, let's go ahead and do a little bit of sketching. But also, today we're going to be drawing Wriothesley, just because I have the urge to draw him for whatever reason. So let's go ahead and do that. So I am going to stick with the 5x7 with 300 dpi, probably for the canvas size. So I'm going to go ahead and hit OK. I'm also going to change the background color immediately to just a gray color, as I don't really like drawing on a white canvas. And for brushes. So for brushes, you can see that there's a few that are locked here. It's mostly the sketch brush and the render brush, but I am not sure if I'm going to sketch with the colored pencil or sketch with the sketch brush. We'll see. We'll see what I'll do today, but we need to unlock this first. So let me go watch the ad, and then we'll turn this on to airplane mode. Now that we watched the ad, we can go ahead and use any of the brushes. Also, I'll make sure to link the brushes in the description if you would like to have access to them. It's basically QR codes in the video, so please go watch that video if you want to download them. Struggling with my camera, what is going on? So for the brushes, I am going to be using probably the sketch brush. I've also changed my color to kind of like a dark muted purple, just because that's kind of just the preference I have whenever I do sketching in general. So let's go ahead and sketch out Wriothesley, just because I've been just itching the sketch ever since Inktober has been over. Also want to make sure that all these settings are off, because I don't think I really have a plan for the drawing today. Let me think. I think I'm too used to not talking until I have to do a voiceover. Yeah, I don't really have any plans in terms of what I really want to sketch for him. I think also it's because I haven't drawn him all that much. Let's give him a little bit sharper eyes. But like I mentioned, I'm not too sure if I'm gonna end up even rendering these. I might just leave them as sketches, depending on how I'm feeling and whether or not I like any of the sketches here. I might have to open up like a separate reference, because I always forget how many piercings he has on this side of his face. I think it's only the one. Well, he has like 2 right here. Why does it do that? I feel like it's like spreading more than usual. Has it been cold for you guys? If you guys are hitting the winter months? Because I know some people in the other hemisphere is hitting more like summer months, but put in a hairline. I really like his hair though. I don't know if it's because it's more like swooshy, but also looks kind of like fluffy, I guess. So usually whenever I get like the itch to kind of sketch digitally, my favorite still is using the 6B pencil in Procreate. So I'm kind of trying to get a feel of what he looks like again. And I tend to do this whenever I either draw a character for the first time or I want to get more familiar with the character. So I'll spend a lot more time on the first sketch usually before I move on to like any other sketches, because I always wanted to redraw him anyways, but might as well get in a little bit of practice of how I wanted to draw him. I don't know if it's because I'm using this kind of sketching pencil. I am erasing a lot more. Sometimes when I use the 6B or like more of a sketchy pencil, then I don't really have the urge to keep cleaning up as I'm drawing. So every time I'm taking like a pause, I am looking at the reference, just because if I am gonna color, let me get a little bit of some of the details kind of correct. Okay, let's move on. I will spruce maybe this one up a little bit, and then we can actually render him, because I don't hate this one. Let's see what we can do for other poses. Let's see. I mean, oh, he might be a little bit small. I have an idea for this, but I don't know if it'll align properly. Let's do a quick little side profile. I also don't know if I want to give him more stout chin, maybe? I don't know. See, the thing is like I can't angle it as high as I want unless I want to cut off more of his head, which is also a possibility. That or I shrink him. A little. We'll shrink him a little. I feel like I need to study anatomy more. Look at this. Same for ends here. If you do this, I've written 17. I've been listening to back a lot, so let's BAK. I think like for me the triple threat for like Japanese music, for at least what I listen to, is Yuri, back, and Kawasaki Takaya, I think. Takaya? I think. Takaya Kawasaki, I think. His hair would swoosh. Or swish. Swish. Past tense. For some reason I wanted to give him more of a buzzed bottom of his hair look. But looking at these references of him, I don't think it is. Is it technically like this? I'm not too sure. I feel like I'm missing a whole chunk of his hair. That doesn't make sense. I feel like, yeah, when it's like the opposite. If I do voiceover, it's like non-stop rambling. If I do any kind of like real-time drawing and stuff, there's like a whole lot of silence, which I know some people prefer. Let's see. I could do a derpier one if I wanted to. Because I think... I don't know. The thing I really want to do... I don't know if I should just plan it for my friend's bachelorette, or maybe I'll do it for her birthday. Whichever she will agree to. We'll see what happens. Because I know she wants to keep her bachelorette, like, low-key. I want to go to a karaoke bar with my friends again. I think it's been like several years since we went to the other one. But me and my friends went, I think, when was it? Right in the middle of like uni days, I think. So when we were still quite young. So like all of us had curfews, low-key. So like we could only do like an hour and a half of singing maybe. So I feel like we could spend a lot longer there now. Actually, let's scrap this. I have an idea. I also wanted to, so I did like the random outfits for Maseki from like Pinterest or whatever. I kind of want to do more like fashion study, but like Genshin. Because I think it'd be fun to make like almost like, is it editorial pictures? I think it could be fun to do for that. I know people have done it before and I think they've done it for like zines. But I think it might be a fun way to explore a little bit more of different fashions. I don't know if it's just me. I think I've talked about this before, but in terms of what I find like, it's like most attractive, is the fact that anybody in a suit or formal wear, I just love. Because like women, men, anybody in like a nice fitted tux, absolutely. What am I doing? This one's so derpy. He's not looking any direction. Also, the Halloween art for Genshin was super cute. Like the little traveler siblings and Paimon as Lynette and Linny and Fremine. It's so cute. I always had the habit of making this eye higher. And I know why, but I never correct myself when I'm doing it. I wanted him to be like this. So if his shoulder is this way, and I guess he's leaning, your arm will be like entirely down. Yeah, maybe we'll fix him up. We'll see. Let's add some color. So before we get to the coloring portion of the Wriothesley sketches, I wanted to let you guys know more about TokyoTreat and Sakuraco. Experience Japan from the comfort of your own home with their beautifully packed snack boxes. TokyoTreat is a monthly pop Japanese snack subscription box with 20 of the latest exclusive limited edition and seasonal flavor Japanese snacks that are only available in Japan for a limited time. For example, like the Sakura Pepsi, Japanese sake Kit Kat, ramen, and much more that could also be included in the boxes. These boxes are always so well packed and filled with a lot of yummy snacks that range from sweet to savory, crunchy to soft. From the selection, I can also see that there's new stocks that I've personally never seen before, plus a few that I've recognized and are recommendations from previous boxes. While Sakuraco is an authentic Japanese snack subscription box, Sakuraco supports local Japanese snack makers, and each box comes with 20 traditional, authentic, and artisan Japanese snacks, but also includes Japanese teas and a special Japanese tableware. The snacks from this box usually suits my palate the most. There are usually snacks in this box that I'm super looking forward to, and I can see some already, like the white chocolate fruit snacks and even some pear gummies, which I know that I'll love. For this month's box, it has included Wasaka cream chopsticks. The one that I got are actually the red version, and they have this really pretty crane design soaring against this golden sky, which symbolizes longevity and good fortune. Super pretty design. Both boxes come with a 24-page cultural guide, and the booklet includes information on each of the snacks in the box. This includes cultural information relating to that month and the location. This includes also the allergen information and ingredients for each of the snacks. Also mentions if the snack is vegetarian friendly or not. Each month has a different theme, meaning that you get to try out a whole new selection of new treats and snacks every month. For example, TokyoTreat's box theme for the month of November is Mount Fuji Snack Venture. According to the booklet, Mount Fuji is a super popular hiking spot and have approximately 300,000 people climb it every year. It also seems like sweet flavors and spicy wasabi are very popular flavors when around Mount Fuji. While Sakuraco's theme is Wonders of Saitama, Saitama City is known for their extraordinary haven for the arts of Japan with rich cultural heritage and an array of diverse artistic communities, like ningyo doll crafting and bonsai cultivation. So let's move on to the part which I love the most, which is testing out the teas from the Sakuraco box. This time it's the Chappan Sayam tea. It's a Japanese green tea that is cultivated in the Saitama Prefecture, which is renowned for their thick leaves and has developed to endear the colder climates. So I just steeped it for about 40 seconds as recommended, and I lift up the tea bag up and down a few times before removing it. I can never go wrong with this kind of beautiful, calming taste of a soothing green tea, so I really enjoyed this one. So from the snacks today that I've tried, the Kit Kats are always lovely, though I've had this flavor in the past, I still super enjoy it. The Crunky Chocolate Almond Bites were also very tasty, and I love the texture of the almonds inside. But by far, my favorite from the TokyoTreat box was the Wasabi Potato Crisps. They are super flavorful and also have that kind of slight kick of a spice from the wasabi that kind of feels like a little tickle to your nose. I really do like the wasabi flavor. That was probably most definitely my favorite, as I usually like spicy, kind of savory, crispy types of snacks. From Sakuraco, I liked having the green tea to kind of help with the sweetness of the snacks, like the castellas. Also, don't mind that I kind of wanted to be a little bit extra to eat with the chopsticks, but also it kind of helped to keep my hands clean and away from anything on my desk. But as predicted, the white chocolate fruits, the apple version this time, was one of my favorites, and I really loved their white chocolate fruit snacks in general, so I really enjoyed that one. But also, the Saitama pear gummies were extremely tasty, but also a little bit nostalgic for me, as my brother and I used to drink a sugarcane and pear drink when we were growing up. If you would like to get a box for yourself or want to give these as a lovely gift to your friends and family, then do check out the links in the description to get your snacks today. I think that they'll be a great gift for people, especially during this time since the holidays are kind of around the corner, so try to get it early and try out some of the new snacks with your family and friends via these boxes. Thank you again to Sakuraco and TokyoTreat for sponsoring today's video, so let's get to coloring and underpifying the rest of the Wriothesley sketches. I'm going to duplicate this. So duplicate, make a duplicate. So after that, I'm going to change this to multiply. So you can see that my sketch got darker. But this way, we can actually adjust the adjust the sketch color as we color underneath. So it kind of does the work for me for some of it, I guess, not entirely, because I will have to go in to adjust so that we can make a new layer. And once we have this new layer, we can color underneath our sketch. So I'm gonna go ahead and switch to the paint brush, and we can actually block in where we could fill the entire sketches with a color so that we don't have to worry about getting outside of the lines. Yeah, okay, so now that we have basically our sketch colored with one solid pass like this, I'm gonna go ahead and go to my layers and alpha lock it so that now when we add a new color like this, it doesn't leave where I haven't placed down this like kind of beige color. So this will kind of make it a little bit easier for me to color them a little bit more cleanly, if that makes sense. So I'm gonna go ahead and also turn back on quick eyedropper because I'm gonna need that to make things a little bit quicker. I feel like I always need to adjust, like every time I use Ibispaint, I need to adjust my curve like a lot. Because usually in Procreate I can do like a super light touch with the same brush, but this is becoming still very difficult for me to use. But I know like part of it's just like user error, so I'm not gonna really adjust these too much. Okay, put this in more into shadow. It's because I think it looks pretty. Also helps push the shadows a little bit more. That way you don't make him look too red. Light. And this is where you're gonna see mostly where the color is gonna change more intensely. Just because there's a more darker tone right here. So you can see that I'm using this kind of color, which looks kind of more of a like a muted navy color. But because it's like being placed underneath this kind of reddish brown, it's kind of turning more black almost. So luckily with me putting down the beige color first, I don't have to worry too much about the background color kind of bleeding through. It's kind of similar to like when you work with traditional medium and you put down a general wash or like an under color. Actually, to make things easier, I think I'm gonna call it a night, and I'll see you guys like probably the following morning to continue, because I don't like the fact that my energy is dwindling, so I feel like I'm going to want to do less on this. We'll see how I feel tomorrow morning about this. I'll finish coloring them, and then we'll see if I end up rendering any of them. Okay, so it's like the following morning, so let's continue to color and let's see if we can render. Okay, so I have more or less like the gist of what his color scheme is. So what I'm gonna do is go into, I've already alpha locked my colors. Let's alpha lock my sketch so that I can actually adjust some of these line colors to be a little bit softer. And I tend to make them a lot lighter and a little bit more saturated. The reason being is that I find it a little bit easier for me to adjust how dark I want it to be. But sometimes putting lighter lines on top of like darker areas is a little bit more of a hassle. Go over some of the darker areas. Now if I really wanted to, I could add extra lighting before I actually start to merge some of these lines. Also, why is this? I guess we'll make it black maybe. I switched to 17 music. I love listening to headliners so much. Yes. Okay. So, now at this point, they're all in one layer, so I could do this. But, we're gonna go ahead and switch to the render brush, and we can actually start to clean things up. And make it a little bit more refined in some areas, if that makes sense. I'm mostly going to be cleaning up and sharpening things. But I do have to remember to select with my Apple Pencil rather than my finger, like in Procreate, because I turned on that palm rejection thing. So hopefully I can just clean up all of them to a certain extent, but mostly just this larger one, since it's so front and center. So to kind of blend, I'm basically picking up the new value in between two adjacent colors. So let's say I have this purple color and this black. So I'd like lay it down, and then you can see this faded area is much more of a softer color. So you can use this to kind of transition our way to kind of this gray color. So that's how I kind of do it usually, because I don't really rely on the actual blending of the brush. I more or less rely on the opacity. Okay, let's fix up his eyes, because I feel like the eyes are partially the reason why I don't really like this one. The funny thing is that I feel like sometimes, because I didn't adjust the brush with my pressure sensitivity, the color pencil has such a good range of like soft to hard, I guess, depending on your opacity and your, I guess like it is your brush sensitivity, but like how much pressure you put when you're laying down colors. It's so easy to like layer up. At least like that's how I'm remembering it as it was before. I'm like, I don't know why I'm so glad that Inktober is over. So at least like kind of flesh out a little bit of these shapes here. It's because his face is uneven. Is that why this one looks so funky? Okay, let's fix up this top part a little bit. Actually, I'm not even gonna fix it that much. I'm just gonna fix this little gray part and then we'll move on. I'm using a lot of black to kind of fix this piece a little bit more adjacent to it. I guess I'll be on the other side actually. Give it a little bit of that lip. Yeah, I mostly wanted to just fix the face and like part of this arm. So I'm gonna move on to the other one, I think. I don't think I'm gonna continue working on this one any longer. Yeah, okay, let's just move on. I'm gonna see if I can fix this derpy one. I think it's still a little too far. Okay, I think I more or less fixed it, so at least it doesn't look as derpy as before. Okay, and then we can just outline these little parts. And then I think that's it for sprucing these up. I'll add a white outline around them. Kind of helps them feel a little bit more separated since they're all kind of low-key attached, especially right here. Yeah, let's go ahead and do that because I think I'm done with this. Let's go ahead and switch over to a white and yeah, I think the sketch pencil will work for the outline. I'm gonna start with the small one. Just because he's technically the most in the foreground. So if I can figure out. So usually if I do like 2 hours, I wouldn't split it between 2 days. Because 2 hours isn't that long. I made his hair very one-sided. Not one-sided, like they're following the same direction for the swoosh, which looks a little funny. And then I'll probably take a break, go do some other things, and then see whether or not I want to continue sketching more of him. But with the 6B pencil, because I always have fun just sketching with that pencil so much. Okay, and then last side. Hi, and I think usually, actually I'm gonna check really quickly. So let's go back. Yeah, we're about 2 hours, almost 2 hours and a half. So, yeah, I usually put the name somewhere. Typography is not my strong suit, but I do like playing around with the letters sometimes. Yeah, I don't know if I can fit it here. Maybe, do I rotate it? Maybe I'll put it up here. I'll just write it first, and then we can figure it out. I mean, it kind of fits here, so maybe I won't. I'll just budge it up a little bit. Merge that, and then I'll add like little doodles on top. So let's go back to sketch, go back to white. Just fill up that space up there. So, I'm gonna do the same thing, so I'm gonna duplicate this. I'm gonna set it to alpha lock. We're gonna change it to kind of a dark purple. Fill all of this in. And actually, I think I'll leave it like that. I didn't really need that other multiply layer, I don't think, so I'll delete this one, I think. Yeah, I think that's it. Yeah, I think that's it for a little sketch piece of Wriothesley. So we'll go ahead and do a time lapse really quick. Actually, I'll put the time lapse at the very end. Hopefully you guys enjoyed today's video of me doing kind of like a sketch page in Ibispaint, since it has been quite a while, and I kind of had fun. I feel like the overall look of this looks kind of cute, even though the doodles and sketches are not exactly my favorite. But hopefully you guys enjoyed today's video, and I'll talk to you guys next time in the next video. Bye!